Squad may actually be cooking here. I've been playing this game, covering updates and development, and making content on it for almost 6 years now. I've seen the highs, I've seen the lows, but I've also seen plenty of promises made and not necessarily kept. Fast ropes win, right? Now, even though I have been frustrated with the direction the game has been going recently, I'm not so blinded by that frustration that I'm just going to hate every single thing the devs put out, because that would be ridiculous. I love Squad. But OWI have found themselves in a tough spot with Squad right now. However, their communication lately has been admittedly good. I wasn't a fan of that community video they posted a week or two ago, but this most recent Squad progress report, which looks like it's going to become an ongoing series since this one is labeled as the first one, is really encouraging. So we're going to watch it and break it down, since I don't want this information here to get lost in the 10.1 patch notes that will be dropping tomorrow. So let's watch.
Hey Squaddies, Pimo here, the executive producer for Squad. I want to take a little bit of time to talk about our renewed focus on not only listening to community, but driving change within Squad. So today we're going to talk a lot about optimizations, ICO improvements, targeted bug fixing, first-time user experience, and of course, new ways to play Squad. ICO came out roughly 2 years ago to Squad, and over that time, we've heard a lot of feedback, adjusted ICO, kind of smoothed it out for the majority of the player base, but we really want to remove the remaining frustrations within our gunplay. So we're going to really focus on sway, recoil. We're going to take a look at suppression. We're really going to look at removing all of the frustrations that we've not got to, but we've heard the feedback through player surveys, Discord chats, Steam forums, and just my conversations with the community at all. So look forward to changes to the ecosystem, but also us testing them early and often with you all to gather your feedback and make further adjustments. All right.
So Pimo here states that the sway, recoil, and suppression aspects of the ICO will be smoothed out to make it less frustrating. This is incredible to hear, since the initial impression I got from the devs was that they were going to take the ICO and just pull it apart and try to make Squad play like it did in 2020, which just would not be good. But before everyone here starts typing in the comments that either I'm a shill or I'm now flip-flopping on the ICO, or wait, the devs say that they're changing this part of the ICO, so obviously Moi likes it now, I want to play a small clip from my very first ICO video that I posted in June 2023. That's like 2.5 years ago, okay? At the end of this video, I have a chapter labeled "What I Don't Like," and this is what I said. Incredibly fun. Now, although I really enjoyed just about everything the infantry combat overhaul added, my main complaint is that the camera punch for stray bullets is like way too much. Here I was simply running through a field and one round cracked over my head, which almost made it feel like my character did a full-on lean. I personally preferred the black darkening of the screen, which we have in game now for these types of shots, and would hope that this kind of camera punch gets toned down quite a bit. Additionally, my second problem is that this initial ADS sway when you bring up your rifle and try to look through optics is just a little too much. I do think it's a bit too punishing, and although you shouldn't be able to have perfect aim right away, the current rocking the scopes just creates some ridiculous moments that makes you feel like your character has literally never held a weapon before. But insane. There you go, all right? For almost 3 years now, I've been pretty consistent in saying that I like the overall feel of the ICO, but suppression and weapon sway are not good. And even though the devs have smoothed it out over the years, I've been consistently pushing for less sway and aim punch suppression, especially when it comes to things like machine gun players who are bipoded and proned. If you're an MG player, you know that the ICO has been miserable for you for years now. Yeah, you might not get instantly domed now when you bipod up and shoot, but you can rarely hit anything, no matter how stable you are. It's really frustrating to play. I said it 2.5 years ago, and I'm still saying it now. I will still say that these things should have been fixed already. We brought it up nearly 3 years ago, yeah? I still feel like so much of the devs' resources have been going into this UE5 update over the past couple years, and because of that, we really strayed away from the tweaks and improvements that needed to happen to the game, but we can't change the past. We can only improve moving forward, and it actually looks like that's what's happening. If this is really all that's going to be tweaked, then yeah, I am more than happy being wrong for being upset a couple weeks ago, because I still love Squad and I want it to be successful, and right now, I'm really liking what I'm hearing, so let's keep watching.
Now let's talk about optimization. I got cornered by our social team early in the morning, and I didn't even have my first coffee, but I wanted to talk about optimization. We are working tirelessly, fixing bugs, looking at new optimization technologies that we can implement into our game to smooth out the experience for all of you. So stay tuned and look at the patch notes for upcoming releases for all the wonderful optimization things we are doing. Now let's talk about brass tacks. Any message from me is nothing unless I start talking about the details. The substantial set of issues we fixed for 10.1, especially around PSO scopes. We fixed the visual problems on the PSO when used on the SVD, VSS, and AS valve. The VSS was using the SVD reticle incorrectly. Magnification was wrong on both the VSS and AS valve, and adjustable ranging was missing entirely. All of this has now been corrected, along with recalibrating the Stadia rangefinder on those same platforms. Okay, now
this is exactly the type of stuff that will make gunplay feel better. Now, he did kind of skim past optimization and performance stuff, which I frankly would still like for them to come up with some type of proper benchmarking walkthrough for everyone who is still having issues running Squad in UE5. But fine-tuning weapon optics and fixing magnification bugs will just make firing your weapon in Squad feel good. So this is still a win. I'm like it. Keep going, man.
Now let's talk a little bit of quality of life. We've addressed the long-standing issue when you exit the helicopter, it tends to tumble away. Now, whether you're sitting in the helicopter or just hovering a few feet above the ground, when you hop out, it doesn't feel like the helicopter is possessed. We also updated camo netting. Bunkers are now far easier to see out of from the inside, and observation towers are easier to see through from both sides. This one's a personal favorite. It really cleans up a lot of frustrating visibility moments. Vehicles are...
All right, this helicopter change is great. Now, I never really had that big of an issue with it personally, but every once in a while you'd kind of bump dismount and get thrown to the rotors. The helicopter would respond weird sometimes. It was weird, so that is an awesome fix. But this camo netting is huge. Fobs and emplacements have been kind of in a weird spot in Squad for years now, and I know some of y'all would love to just build all game, and others would rather have blueberries never touch a shovel, but the idea of these camo nets were great. They just made it really difficult to actually use them in game. This is definitely not something that's game changing, but it is such a nice quality of life feature that will make for fighting in fobs way better. Keep going.
We're also getting a lot of tuning in 10.1. We've adjusted how easy it is for all vehicles to be flipped. We've made them a lot more stable. Though yes, if you try hard enough, you can still flip them. We also cut the reset timer by nearly half, meaning that if you do flip, you're not stuck waiting around forever. And for track vehicles, like the Bradley and MBTs, we've made major improvements to obstacle traversal, so they don't get hung up as easily. This should go a long way in reducing those moments when you get stuck on a rock and wonder why you ever volunteered to be crew. We're also...
Yeah, it's said it true right at the end there. All these changes are great. Vehicle physics have been in a really weird spot since UE5 dropped, and you know that if you're a driver, and although they haven't specifically mentioned fixing the bug that causes vehicles to be like halfway stuck in the ground and immovable, I would be surprised if that also wasn't included in this vehicle bug fixing pass. Flipping is a huge annoyance, and having a quicker flip timer just makes sense. And if you missed the new track physics for vehicles, this is what it looks like. This type of traversal stuff has been greatly needed. No complaints again, great changes. Let's look at first-time user experience.
Also shaping a better first-time user experience. A lot of that work has been built using the Fireteam mission system. We'll have a lot more information to share very soon. The goal is to get new players oriented faster and understand Squad from the moment they load into the game. Beyond Fireteam, we're actively exploring community-driven layers, reworked versions of older layers, decoupling factions from specific maps, and revamps to existing modes. There's a lot of potential here, and we're excited to start opening up more variety in how you play Squad. More updates are on the way. We appreciate you sticking with us on this journey, and we're very thankful for all the feedback you've provided us thus far. We are going to move Squad forward together.
All right, really great way to wrap this video up. And real quick, talking on the map layers, having any faction play any map might make some people go crazy, but why not? Yeah, I don't know if I want to see insurgents like in the Snow and Goose Bay, but allowing conventional factions a little bit more leeway in what maps they can play would be really good. And I frankly would love to see chaotic layers like Talil tanks back in rotation. Kind of off topic, but I think voting has ruined a lot of good games because players often make poor decisions in picking map and faction matchups. So I am curious in what Offworld has in store for us in game modes and layers and all that type of stuff. But as a whole, I was very disappointed in what I was hearing from Squad a couple weeks ago, but I'm not going to just dig my heels in and be mad for no reason. I want this game to be successful, and this is the first communication I've seen from the devs that kind of really made me believe in what they're trying to do. I'm still cautiously optimistic, and I'm just going to believe it when I see it, but I'm not mad. I like this, and I really hope they keep up with the updates. But what do y'all think? Is this good? Do you believe them? Are you cautiously optimistic, or do you just have to wait and see? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.